Good morning, everyone. So today we're going to be discussing the other part of the lesson. Last time we talked about what evolution means and what common ancestry means and how species evolve from a common ancestor, as scientists believe. We talked about what evolution is, and it's how some species biological change from one shape to another through millions of years, and that's how they evolve. Common ancestor, how a lot of species have an ancestor in common. Okay, like all of these, they have one ancestor in common millions of years ago. That's what scientists believe, that they all came from this ancestor and they all evolved into all these different species, and this is what common ancestry means. So this whole lesson is basically about the understanding the word evolution, understanding the term common ancestry, and then understanding these 5 evidence. That means what evidence, okay, do scientists have to say that animals have evolved or they have a common ancestor? What is the evidence that they're using? There's 5. So if you know these 5, you're basically, that's half the lesson. If you know evolution and common ancestry, the meaning of these, this and the other half of the lesson. Okay, so what is the evidence that the scientists are using? Let's talk about evidence number 1. It's the fossil record. They look at the fossil record and they see how animals have similar shapes from millions of years ago, and now they see that how they have changed in shape and how they are similar in some places and have changed in other places, and then this is how they have evidence of evolution. They use the fossil record. That's number 1. Number 2, they see similarities in bodies of living organisms. Okay? Similarities in bodies of living organisms. Like they look at, this is a bat, a dolphin, and a horse. I know that these don't look the same, but they believe that, look, they have the same kind of structure. The ones that are colored the same, so pink, and then they have like the blue comes later than the green, if you see those. They believe that because of this similarity kind of in the structure, they believe that these have come from a common ancestor and they have evolved. Okay, they went through evolution, they have evolved from a common ancestor because they have similar shape. Like this one, the cat and the human, they're looking at these and they're look at the colors. They believe that this is the same kind of compartmentalizing of body shapes. So similarities in bodies of living organisms is number 2. Number 3 evidence would be comparing fossilized animals or species with living ones. So this is 490 million years ago, and they're comparing it with one that is today, and then this is also for them evidence of evolution and common ancestry. The 4th would be similarities among embryos. This proves common ancestry for them. For scientists, they believe that this proves common ancestry. Embryos are basically when the species are still inside the mother's womb or egg. Like, look, this is chicken, cat, and fish. This is how they start out. They believe because these 3 have gill silts when they were in the womb or in the egg. Okay, when they grew up, they're different, yes, but because the embryos look similar, scientists believe that similarities in these embryos prove evolution and common ancestry. Okay, so different types of animals go through similar stages in the embryo development. While they are developing, they go through similar stages. Like they believe they have similar tails, so yeah, they must be evolved from the same species. So we call this embryological evidence. So evidence from embryos, similarities in embryo. Okay, if you need to understand the word embryo, look it up, but it's basically the species when it's still, before it becomes a baby, before it's born, when it's in the mother's womb or in an egg. The 5th one scientists get evidence of evolutionary relationships from studying genetic and molecular level. So basically, they study the genes, and they believe the genes, the DNA of different species, and they believe because of this DNA that they are similar, or they evolved from the same species. But honestly, like, I myself can find that ridiculous, because human beings and bananas have 50% similar DNA. Yani DNA of the human beings and DNA of bananas have 50% similarity. Does that mean we're half a banana? No. But scientists believe that DNA evidence is also evidence of evolutionary relationships or common ancestry. I just believe that we're all this just proves that we're all created by the same God. However, scientists do believe that, but other scientists don't. There's a lot of controversy around this, but we just have to know that this is what scientists believe. We just have to understand what they believe. It doesn't necessarily mean that this is what we believe. Okay. This is also some of the embryo evolutionary history. Look at the fish, reptile, bird, human. They all have these gill silts, and that's why they say, oh, they all came from the same common ancestor. Okay, that's what scientists say. Data from fossils can be used to infer that sizes of living things, their lifespans, what they ate, how they moved. This is not important to the lesson. Elephants came from this is their lineage. Elephants came from mammoths. That's what they believe. They're also taken into consideration their tooth shape. They believe that, you see, this is how they started here, and then this species evolved into this, and then into this, and then this evolved into that, and then this one evolved into these two. That's what scientists believe, and this evolved into here, and this evolved into here. So this is like an evolutionary journey that will lead us to the present day, where we have two types of the African and the Asian elephant. Okay, and they believe that the African and the Asian elephant, they both have this one common ancestor. Okay, and they have this one before it. Okay, so that's basically the whole lesson. This is the lesson glossary of terms. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Do the lesson activities of the day. Thank you.